Hello and welcome to the highlights of the third set of semifinals of Legends of Chess. Well, it was a day of intense battles which went into the second blitz game, and eventually it was Ian Nepomniachtchi who proved superior to Anish Giri. Now, unlike what the score suggests, it's 3.5, 2.5 in favor of Nepo, but it was Anish Giri who was pressing hard to win in most of the games. And Nepomniachtchi obviously disappointed after missing out on so many opportunities the day earlier to close the match in two sets. Came back determined but made too many errors, always was on the defensive, and Anish Giri kept pressing in almost all the four rapid games. And then, of course, in the first blitz game too, he was trying to call the shots, but eventually it was Nepomniachtchi who came out stronger in the second blitz. So overall, as things stand, it's Nepomniachtchi versus Magnus Carlsen in the final. For Nepomniachtchi, there is a bigger inspiration to win because a win against Magnus Carlsen in the three-set final ensures him a place in the chess tour final, which is a grand final. This will involve four players, and only those who have won the tournaments are actually allowed to play. Plus, one player who has the highest number of points on the tour. So since Magnus Carlsen has won two of the previous three tournaments, there won't be a fourth winner. So three champions or even two champions and two from the table of highest number of points earned. So there is plenty to play for Magnus Carlsen and, of course, Nepomniachtchi. But before we go and look at the prospects of the title clash, let's take a look at the third set. Nepomniachtchi, as he later on shared, that he was very upset with himself, very annoyed for letting Anish Giri off the hook in the second set and eventually losing it in the final Armageddon game. But what happened thereafter was that Nepomniachtchi, as he said, he had a very, that evening was very difficult for him to deal with. The very fact that he couldn't win in two, and with that he probably missed out on a day's rest, which Magnus Carlsen got. But first he had to finish the match against Anish, and Anish had done his reputation no harm because he showed that he could meet fire with fire when he met Nepomniachtchi. He could meet his pace and also outwit him. So Nepomniachtchi and Anish Giri promised a great third set, and that's how it turned out to be. Although in terms of intensity, it was very high, but in terms of excitement for those watching, well, it wasn't that much because three of the four games saw that Nepomniachtchi was defending certain positions where he wasn't very comfortable off the blocks. And one was an evenly played draw. For Anish, this particular stretch of four rapid games where he missed out on opportunities is definitely going to hurt him because Nepomniachtchi was somehow more confident of taking the game into the blitz and then nailing Anish because he said that his online rating gave him the confidence that as he's almost 200 points ahead of Anish Giri when it came to online rating, and he thought that his chances were better. So before all this, it was a lot of, like, if you look at game one, Anish Giri had his opportunities. He was pressing hard for advantage, and Nepomniachtchi struggled hard to equalize with black side because he was somehow he as he said, I got my move order mixed up initially, and then he was defending, and then at one point he did manage to draw equal, and finally the first game ended in a draw. The second one again, Anish Giri was pressing hard from the black side this time. But again, he didn't have enough on the board to actually win, though the engine analysis shows that he was slightly superior, but that superiority wasn't enough to give him a point. And again, in game three, it was Anish Giri trying to press home the advantage, and Nepo again defended. and the fourth game was a rather tame draw without too many options for anybody. Although again, Anish was riding on a high. He was upbeat. He was confident. So it was he who was trying to make things happen. And Nepomniachtchi somehow had, I think, made up his mind to just hold on with these rapid games because he wasn't playing well, and he just managed to take the game into the blitz section. And once the blitz section started, it was Anish Giri, who again carried on from, he just carried that confidence which he had from winning the second set, from pressing for advantage in the first four rapid games, most of the four rapid games. And then in the blitz section, well, the first one, it was Anish, I think he had his opportunity to take a certain line, but he missed out on that and allowed Nepo to breathe easy. But then came the final blitz game, that is second of the games, and this is where Nepo played with white. For the first time in the third set, he looked in total control. And then finally, when Anish Giri missed out on a particular line where he pushed a queenside pawn, that was enough. That was just the kind of one extra move that Nepo was waiting for, marshaled his resources well, and finally cornered Anish's king. And then when he was just about to win a knight, Anish Giri resigned. So overall, it was Nepomniachtchi who had this kind of escape to victory because he was pushed to the hilt, he was pushed to the limit by Anish, and of course Nepo finally came out stronger. He was relieved. He was playing some good chess, all right. But yesterday, I think he won. He survived the day. Of course, he won the last one, but then he survived the day mainly because he could last the rapid rounds by defending well. So it was a tribute to his ability to defend that Nepo actually survived, and this created that one last opportunity in the blitz to win. Now, Magnus Carlsen, who won his matches in 2 sets, gained that one extra rest day. Remember, these players have been playing without a break, except that one break that they got, but then it was after 9 games, so that wasn't enough to really recover. But Nepo, like rightly said that well, it was he who had to be blamed for missing out on this rest day because he didn't finish the match in 2 against Anish. But Nepo is exhausted, as we know, but then he has to play his A game tomorrow in order to have any chance against Magnus Carlsen. These two individuals will go for each other's throat. Remember when they had this match in the prelims, Nepo gave a very good account of himself. He had his chances, but of course, eventually it was Carlsen who came out stronger. So this is one last chance for Nepo to book his spot in the chess tour finals, whereas Carlsen is just playing for just to ensure that his reputation stays intact. It's not that even if he loses, his reputation is going to be harmed, but then he is so particular about playing quality games because he has maintained all through that more than the result, what he likes is the quality of his play. And in the last couple of games, he wasn't very happy with the quality of games, although he just destroyed Swidler 5-1 in the semifinals, but he wasn't happy with it at all. So expect Carlsen to test his own skills against Nepo, and Nepo, again, very sharp tactical player, can test Magnus Carlsen. And as Gary Kasparov observed the other day, that Magnus has been making lots of mistakes in the last few tournaments, which have gone unexploited. So maybe if Nepo is sharp enough, despite the fact that he has no rest day between the semifinals and the final, we are in for some exciting times. So let's hope for the very best of action. The chess world expects a 3-set match, whereas the followers or the devotees of Magnus Carlsen are expecting a shorter final. So let's hope for a lot of thrill. May the best player win. and I'll be back with more tomorrow. Thank you for watching.